Most Obsidian tutorials show you the finished perfect system, but if you're tired or overwhelmed and are struggling to maintain your vault, there are a few modes you can use on low energy. 3 survival modes based on what you can actually do: input, process, or understand. In today's video, we will explore what these 3 modes look like. When I'm feeling a little lost or too tired to create notes inside of Obsidian, I use the Smart Random Note plugin to flush out my old notes. So down on the status bar here, I have a little dice icon which opens a random note from my vault. So this one was the handshake deal with the universe from the book The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. So we've got a little quote here: "You know deep inside that you will never be fully satisfied until you have anchored yourself in the zone of genius." So we can scroll down and read about this note. So life is a singular experience, a rare fleeting gift. In exchange, you've made an unspoken commitment not to hold back. On the right-hand side, we've got a few links. So it links to my personal development content map mindfulness, as well as my author, Gay Hendricks, tools, Memento Mori. So I can go explore any of these 3 links here. Mindfulness, and we can go down and see I've got all the authors who write about that topic, all the books, and some action items. So I'm not searching for anything specific. I'm just letting my past self talk to me. So sometimes it might remind me of an idea or an action item that I'd forgotten. And it's also just a reminder to say I used to have energy for things. So I can just dive into my notes and have a look here. We've got using the 12 exercises. It's a bit of unfinished what, when, and how there, but I do have some how information. If we go back, we can have a look at 2 essential tasks. So we've got a little quote there. And then this one is saying, not sure what to focus on. Remember that you have 2 essential tasks, and those are to be a good person and find an occupation that you love. So what we're doing here is we are establishing connection without effort. We're seeing all the links in our notes, and we're just reading and seeing what sparks some interest. So another thing that I tend to do when I can't generate ideas in Obsidian is I'll browse the Obsidian Reddit and also the Obsidian forums. We can have a look at what's trending. So if we scroll down on the Obsidian Reddit, we can either manually scroll until we find something that interests us. What I like to do is I like to use N to scrape Reddit for the most popular post over the last 7 days. And I get this information sent to my Discord as well as my Obsidian Vault. And then from there, I can take posts that are trending, such as this one here, which has 344 upvotes. I've also got one here with 278 upvotes. I also get a Obsidian Intelligence Report, which gives me the high value Obsidian insights that are trending in the community. So let's jump over to Reddit and have a look. So we've got the first one here. We've got a post from Greyboy59. My gaming hub and hobby tracker are now fully migrated to Obsidian. So when I'm on Reddit, I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm just letting other people's inspiration or problems or workflows come into my consciousness. So sometimes someone's post or question becomes a video idea. So if we have a look here, we can see that Gray has provided a link to his little demo vault here. If we open up Gray's demo vault, we can see that he's pinned a couple of notes up the top here. So he's got one for his gaming hub. He's got his YAML properties here. And then on the right-hand side is where he loads the note. So this is pretty cool. It's using the banners plugin. So if we scroll down, we can see that there are a few community plugins here that he's using. So he's got buttons for his buttons here. He's got callout manager to manage his callouts, which are these little callouts here. So he's got custom playing, library, and quick actions. He's also using columns to do this 3 columns layout. Then he's got media, DB, pretty properties, and settings search. How this works is when you scroll down, click the library item, and then it loads in the right-hand side. And then under the games that he owns, he's got a Obsidian base. And if you click those games, they load up in the right-hand pane as well. So you can tick when he's owned a game, when he's playing it, when he's completed it, and he can put all the other YAML properties in there. He's got a list of games that he wants to play and franchises he follows and games that he has completed. So it's quite a nice little media tracker, which might spark some inspiration for creating a vault, or it could be something that you're looking for. We've got one for films here as well. So obviously you would customize your banner and change the films that you would like, but it's just giving you an idea of what you can do with Obsidian. If I have a look at this other top post for the week, which was my comprehensive Obsidian setup, web clipper bases formula, you can see FYLED has posted about Obsidian here. So he said, over the past few years, I've been using Obsidian on and off, but it never really clicked for me until very recently. And if we scroll down, we can see he's done a big write-up, put a lot of effort into this post, and he's even provided a demo vault on his GitHub here. So you can click on this link and have a look at the demo vault. So that's what I did because I don't have much energy today. So I'm just exploring what other people are doing. So if we open the vault, we can see he's just got some bases under a folder called 3 bases. We've got one for media tracking. So he's customized the ratings here with some emojis. And then if we click in, it just goes in as normal. It's got some link mentions down the bottom, which can be handy. And it's pretty basic. But what I really liked about this vault is not so much how he's tracking his books, his media, or his recipes, but just that it gave me some insight into this theme here, which is Cat Papuchin. I quite like this theme. I think it's quite minimal and it looks quite nice. So if you're just looking for something basic without anything too fancy, this is something that might work for you. So I don't know how I would incorporate this into my Obsidian structure, but it's always good to see what other people are doing in the community. When I can't contribute or I don't have energy, I can still stay connected to the community. So I actually replied to a couple of these posts on Reddit, and that will keep the wheels turning. Another thing you can do is you can jump over to the Obsidian forums, and you've got 2 tabs here. So you've got one for new post and one for unread. So if you're watching a topic, all your unread topics are here. Otherwise, you've got new, which is new posts that have been posted to Obsidian. And you can see how many replies or views. So that could be something that you can do when you're not really keen on writing any notes, because you might find some inspiration inside the Obsidian forums. So let's have a look at the next mode, which is process. So this is all about getting small wins and fixing notes. When I need momentum, what I do is I fix existing notes. So I still tend to use my random note icon here, and I'll just go and see if there's anything I need to fix up in a particular note. So we've got one here, the power of habit. There's nothing really I want to fix there. All the YAML properties are quite good. So I can just explore the power of habit. Same with that one. That one looks fine. Effort looks okay as well. So most of those notes are fine. Okay, so here we have a note called action bias, and it doesn't have any YAML properties. So this is a good example when big plans feel impossible, but fixing this note, I can do that right now. Tiny corrections will restore a sense of control. So I know this one's an idea. What I tend to do is I'll pull up my ideas template, and I'll just jump into the source mode, and I'm going to grab my YAML properties here, paste them up the top. So now I've got some YAML properties. I'm going to take the meta details here as well, put those in because they were missing. So now I have something to work with. Go into my source mode, just take out this one here. Now I want to move these tags up to here. I could just leave them there, but I like to have all my tags up the top. Okay, so now we've got our tags. We'll move our book up to where it says source. I mean, you can always see if this is valid YAML as well by clicking on the little info icon, and you can see on the right-hand side here. I want to take this external source and put it down the bottom under a title called external sources. I'll just throw that one down there. I'm going to give that one a heading 2. And this quote here, I'm going to put in a call out. So I've got a little call out snippet there. All right, so I'll get rid of these spaces and we'll switch back. And I'm just going to put today's date as the date that I modified it. And we'll call this one completed. We could put a summary and the topics in there as well. If we didn't know, we could just ask the AI to do it for us. Given that we don't have much energy, we're just trying to create movement. That's fine for now. So we want to put our dates in there. So I'll use my templater command, templater rep, replace templates in active file. I've also got a hotkey Alt-R. And what that's going to do is going to convert all those to dates. So now I've cleaned that one up. So I'd recommend just doing this until you get tired of doing it. And yes, it is a form of procrastination. So if I Control O, type in procrastination, and you can go make a note about procrastination like I have. And I've actually made it a map of content. And I've got a whole bunch of authors who write about procrastination. And then I've got a whole bunch of books. And I've actually written out a whole bunch of action items about procrastination. So we can see here I've got one, stop procrastination. I've got a little quote in there. So we procrastinate about things that make us feel uncomfortable. And I've got link mentions here. So I've got one for A Mind for Numbers, which is a book by Barbara Oakley. We can see that we've got some YAML properties up the top there. And if we scroll down, we've got some best ideas. So we can jump into that one. And you can see that I've created an Excalibur drawing to make this note more memorable. When do you really stop learning? Are you a lifelong learner? If we adopt this alter ego, then learning how to learn is an important skill. Concepts and principles to make learning easy. This will last you a lifetime. Something worth remembering. So instead of remembering all this text, we just create an image to remind ourselves quickly. I could hit my hotkey Alt-L. That will bring up all the notes about procrastination. So if you're low on energy and you are procrastinating too much, I can go into this note and just start going through some of the action items to take myself out of that mode. So we've got mini getting things done exercise. So I could click into that one, follow this little rule here. So that's one thing I could do. I could go back to procrastination, have a look at something else, deciding on the path. So we see here I could fix up this note. This is unfinished, or I could just read through it. So you can achieve greatness no matter where you are in life right now. There is something you can be uniquely incredible at. So these are just like good reminder notes that I can just go back to, or I can put in what, when, if that's missing, tidy the note up. So this one looks half complete, hence why it's got unfinished on it. And it was taken from the path. That's an unfinished note as well. So there's a few things that I can do here. So I could either choose to use my low energy to fix notes or get some inspiration by exploring notes I made in the past. So far, I've shown you small actions, exploring notes, Reddit posts, fixing things, but sometimes you need something bigger, not to create it, just to remember it exists. So that's where understanding comes in to map what is confusing. Down the bottom on the status bar, I have another commander icon to manage workspace layouts. I've also got this workspace plus, which allows me to switch workspaces, and I like that one a little bit better. That brings up all my workspaces, and I can just quickly jump into, say, my Excalibur drawings. I could go into my cycles and reviews, have a look at my journals. I could explore notes that I've written this year. I could go have a look at all my Canvas files. I could review my work notes inside of my System Engineer Wiki. I could go through all my templates and see if there's anything there that I would like to work on. If I'm learning anything, I can revisit my learning folder, or I could simply go take a look at my research notes. I could also have a look at quotes that I've captured for inspiration. We go back to the Excalibur workspace. So if we scroll down, then we can have a look at a few of the drawings I did about a year ago. So we've got one here for the Pomodoro technique. So this is about how to focus on your work in 25-minute intervals and how that works. If I expand the right pane, I can have the link mentioned here is this tomatoes. So I can go have a look at that note. There was a little quote there and the information and where I got the inspiration for the drawing there. That's the drawing I made, and that was the original drawing. So you could do things like that. That's pretty low effort, where you just grab someone else's information or idea and create your own style around it. We'll have a look at this one, Stop Zombies Eating Your Brain. We shut off our phone and then we start doing 10 minutes of work instead of feeding zombies, which is our phone. We can have a look at the link mentions for that one. We've got Stop Zombies, and that was a little quote there. What is this? It's procrastination awareness. When do we use it? When we're procrastinating too much. And how do we use it? And that's what that drawing is there. So all of these things were done when I had more energy. So it's about reminding myself that I can do these things. If I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, then just explore what you've already done in the past, and you never know what you might find. So taking a look quickly at 2026 so far, these are all the notes that I've created this year. So one of the main ones I was working on is the 18 laws of human nature. I think over the holiday period, you have a lot of dynamic interactions with family and friends, and it's all about understanding why people say and do the things that they do. I found this one to be quite useful. Things like beware of the fragile ego. So envy, you've always got someone in your family that's doing better than you, or a friend. This one's a good one to just remind yourself that envy is a universal human emotion that people disguise and deny, and it stems from deep insecurity and comparison with others, and it's one of the most destructive human emotions. So I found these quite useful at the start of the year. Self-sabotage is another one. So our attitude fundamentally shapes our perception of reality. So if we have a negative attitude, then we create self-fulfilling prophecies that sabotage our success and happiness. So this whole video, I had to draw it out before I could explain it, because this isn't a system for winning. It's a system for not disappearing. And sometimes when you're using Obsidian, that's enough. So this is a little bit of a different video than I usually make. So I hope you've found something useful out of the content. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.